Hey, I am Maddie, or Diamond Fruit. Wanted to show some of my OCs and just do a bit of coloring while I'm at it. Fiona, Copper, and Pandora. Then more main characters, Amethyst, Lorelei, and Mercury. And just, yeah, they're all characters from a story I've been developing since like 2020. But I'm trying to make it into a book now. I'm trying. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, showing a bit about each of the characters. I have some of my markers here in a gigantic cube case. The thing is, I wanted to show each character, and without giving too much away about my plot, just tell a little bit about them. Oh, I was going to show some other artwork I've done recently. I can't show that one because it's technically an ending to a fanfiction I'm working on. Check it out on Archive of Our Own. I'll leave a link in the description. New chapters being added soon. There's a picture I did of Jack. Just something I wanted to draw him happy and just make it look shiny. Then the other side is characters from the book, and just them together in their, even though she's in her monster form. But the two hearts there, the ones that are kind of outlined, it's hard to see that one, but like the other one, those two are meant to represent the later characters because they are the parents of some of the characters shown before. They are the parents of Copper and Pandora, but just things are tricky because don't want to get too say too much about the plot, but they have a lot of emotional baggage. That's what I'll tell you. For Fiona, she is a fabulous fairy. Her personality is like a little mix of Tinkerbell and fairy character I did as a kid named Clover. Got bright orange hair. I always describe her as having the most unnatural shade of orange you can possibly think of, and other fairies are mean to her because of it. Jerks. She always wears a little leaf dress. I originally had to change up her design so many times because she looked way too much like Tinkerbell, but she got a leaf dress just because. She sometimes wears a dress made out of white flowers. And one thing, in one of her fancier moments that I included in the story, is she once wore a red poppy dress. Like, it's kind of like an unspoken rule. Redheads shouldn't really wear red. But, yeah, Fiona's just like, nah, wear a poppy dress. Just cause. Just cause she wanted to feel fabulous. And she wears a little daisy in her hair just for decoration. Daisy. And her eyes are blue. A little bit brighter than that, but still pretty close. She's pretty pale, so I always think of finding the right marker for skin tones sometimes. Testing. The one I usually use for really pale skin tones is running out, so there we go. I sometimes use this color for when I'm drawing zombies characters. Forgot to outline her shoulder. Or, from Disney zombies, but also other ones. Fairies don't really need to wear shoes. They spend most of their time in the air. They're feet are probably really dirty, but like still, she's adorable. Fun fact is that in this world, fairies naturally smell like cinnamon. Just thought that was kind of adorable. Silver wings, silver wings. That's a faint silver, and they kind of like have like a veiny pattern if you look really closely, and like, well, in the story, but like it's not a huge deal. But there's Fiona, and I need to pick a different skin tone. That's Fiona's about the size of my finger, so like pretty tiny, but don't ever tell her that. Like just, yeah, don't ever tell her that. She's pretty defensive. Then next to her is Copper. He is a young witch, and all the witches are born with hair that's any color of the rainbow, but his is blue. It's kind of different. Like, fairies have more natural hair colors, so that's why they're mean to Fiona, but like, I don't, like, well, this doesn't really make a lot of sense, though. Like, they see witches all the time, and they got wacky colors. Why can't she? She was born with it, but like, there's Copper. He's got some glasses on. I typically draw him as just like in a regular gray shirt, but like, he has more interesting outfit choices later without giving like too much away about the plot. I'm really trying to get this like story out there, like messaging, like publishing people, but like kind of tricky. That's what I'll say. Gray pants. And they usually just have like white sneakers. It depends on, yeah. That was a computer sound. I don't know why I felt the need to narrate. There he is, good old Copper, and his eyes are green. Every single one of these characters here, aside from Mercury, like, has a pretty messed up backstory. That includes Fiona, Copper, Pandora, every single character listed. But just, yeah, every time I... If other people who've done OCs, like, can you relate to this? Where it's just like... It's like, yeah, I made their story, and every time I like add something traumatic or messed up to their past, I'm just like, I am so sorry for doing this to you. Like, that's how you make a character interesting. Copper's also pretty pale, but this is the marker I got. Ta-da! Then there's his twin sister Pandora. She's a bit shorter than him, but I need to erase some stuff because, like, hands, shoulder, neck. Yeah, Pandora and Copper are a lot alike. They're very protective of each other. Without saying too much, they each have the same problem, being a curse. But Copper's had it longer, and Pandora has her issues, and she's like, I can't complain. He's been dealing with this, like a curse thing since he was, like, 8 years old. Yeah. Yeah, we all have our curses, don't we, people? She wears green. The shirt is green and yellow. Or, no, green and white. Why did I forget that? Then she's got the same kind of dark gray shorts. She typically wears green, but she has, like, blue hair like her brother, but, well, green eyes, I need to add that too. And the blue hair like her brother, it's a bit darker though. Not the exact shade, but still darker than her brother's. But Copper is the older twin by about 6 minutes. He used to rub it in her face, but not really anymore. Yep, they're very protective of each other because of their curse. And Fiona, Copper, Pandora. I'm working more on their backstory. Writing it sometimes like, making myself sad. Then there is Amethyst, Lorelei, and Mercury. Mercury is the villain, but just, yeah. Any other OC creators like feel this though. He's the villain. I made him, even I don't like him. That's how you know it's a good villain though, right? You feel me, people? Amethyst only recently discovered her magic and is half witch. Because her mother was a witch, her dad was human. And only recently grew out, like randomly grew out her purple hair tips, and she's just like, what the heck? She got some holes in her jeans. But facts about Amethyst, she, among most of the other main characters, like, she's 17. She's had the most normal childhood out of, like, all of them. So, like, yeah, like, they sometimes feel envious of her being like, yeah, you got to experience normal things like TV. Like, yeah, most of them don't even know what movies or TV is. But, because they're in the ancient land of Wiccaria. That's the world I made up. She's got a little yellow star necklace. That was a gift from her mother. Bling! Gray and black plaid shirt. It's a little bit lighter than the pants though. Like, went outside the line. The terror. And went outside the line again. She has a brown belt. But it has a yellow, well, like a gold buckle on it, but like it's kind of covered up by her hands. So, this is the marker I'm going to use because it's the best showing up. But I describe her as literally being like as pale as a human can possibly be. Just like super duper pale, covered in freckles, and being pretty darn adorable. She's a pretty nice and chill person, but just like kind of inspired by like, oop, I forgot that a little bit of the purple is up there. There we go. Now it looks more blended. But because like based off of like multiple sources of her personality, but kind of inspired by some of my friends like and stuff, like where she's nice and chill, but then something gets her mad. She'll quote unquote start swearing like a sailor. So yeah, that's her and her story. I find it easier to write than to say. So yeah, there's her green eyes. Outside the line. I'm so mad at myself. Then there, whoop, is her crush, Lorelai. She got pink hair. I'm just like, yeah, Lorelai. I have more in common with Lorelai than Amethyst as a main character. She wears a kind of beigeish sweater. Well, this is one of her outfits, but like not really beigeish, but like her parents are very strict, so a lot of focusing on magic grades and like kind of dressing simple sometimes, but like still wants to have fun. She's not really allowed to wear makeup, but Amethyst shows her, yeah, you can have fun in a healthy way. Like she got blue eyes. Yellow shirt and polka dots. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I actually need to change up Copper's eyebrows because like they're not supposed to match their hair tones, so it's kind of brownish. Oh, you can't really see Pandora, so it's fine. Well, a little bit. There we go. And the same for Mercury. Like, yeah, I wrote him, and even I don't like Mercury, so, like, yeah, he's pretty evil, and, like, I tried to make him as evil as possible, so, like, if I sat here and tried to, like, list his, like, and list all of his crimes, like, he's known as Emperor of Wakaria, but just, like, if I sat here and tried to list every single one of his crimes, we'd probably be here for, like, 1,000,000 hours. Well, her skirt's kind of blackish, but like, don't want to use up all my ink. All my black ink, I always do way too fast, like for like some drawings. And she got fancy shoeses. Well, it's tricky for me to draw upside down, but I'm showing it. She's a little bit more. Well, she's pretty pale, but, like, not as pale as Amethyst, so, what's it? Ah! Into the eye. Sorry, Lorelai. Sorry, girl. Yeah, they've all the main characters have had some pretty messed up pasts. But, Mercury, I despise that guy. How can I even begin to explain? I describe him as pretty, like, scrawny and, like, but still tough and intimidating. He has a lot of power over people in the Witchlands. One thing I can say is that, yeah, he lies to his people constantly and just, like, tries to scare people into staying in the land. Basically saying stuff like, yeah, if you ever dare leave our world or whatnot, I mean, like, if you're discovered by humans, you'll be burned at the stake, and, like, everyone being like, it's so scary. But, like, Amethyst, like, she grows up as a human, so she's just like, what century does he think this is? He's done a lot of despicable things, but it's being expanded on. So, like, there's Cape. Yeah, he's got some issues, but I wanted to show nothing made him this way. He's always had psychological issues. I imagine a lot of people in a world of magic probably have some deep, like, mental issues sometimes. Like, yeah, imagine, like, never really catching a cold or something. Like, stuff is easily healed by spells or potions. And then suddenly, like, being... Well, he grew up in a world of magic, but, he's had a lot of issues, man. I don't even know how I can properly explain. Like, yeah, who cares? So, like, yeah, he's done things that resulted in a lot of character deaths. I describe him as, like, kind of like having, like, a sickly greenish color for the hair. Oh, yeah, that's good. Or maybe like a sludge green. Yeah. And all of his crimes, he's done a lot of psychological damage to Copper and Pandora. He's the one who took them in, took care of them when he didn't even really, well, tell them the truth about their parents, to put it bluntly. But, yep, not a good guy. Yeah, upside the lines. How many of you feel me here with, like, yeah. I've been doing many OCs for a long time. Even, like, since I was a kid. But, like, well, that's gonna be covered up in a second, but, like, yeah, I have made so many OCs, but, I tend to dislike my own villains. Because, well, that's the point, they're evil. One of my villains from a previous story I called Cyborgs, spelled P-S-Y-borgs, was a villain named Storm. Even I didn't like him either. But yeah, he betrayed his people, like in the Cyborg Resistance. Tried to destroy them all. Dang marker. But, yeah, and left a lot of them to fend for themselves, or left characters to die. Anytime I even mention, like, Storm to one of my particular friends, she just, like, and I feel that. Yeah, but I want to make them evil, because, like, yeah, they're supposed to be, and I don't want, like, their actions to be redeemed most of the time. Come on, marker. Don't fail me now. That's roughly what his outfit looks like, how I imagined, or something, I don't know. I need food. But, yeah, Mercury. I want to punch him. There are a lot of fictional characters that I wish I could punch, like, But when it comes to my own, yeah, I want to punch him deeply. But don't worry. Mercury gets his comeuppance. Not gonna say how, but yes, he does. So satisfying, though. I wanted to give him a brutal, like, kick in the face. But as I'm working on a sequel to their story, I wanted to show, even after he's destroyed, nothing is perfectly fixed. He's the emperor, so, like, yeah, he's unalived, but the thing is that he's the emperor, so, like, now the land of Wakaria is in a state of panic, being like, oh no, we don't have our leader. What are we gonna do? People still believing in his visions of order. Ugh. Ta-da! Well, there's them and them. My boyfriend's favorite is Fiona. Like, I have my favorites for different reasons. No part of him. Like, half the time, like if I write scenes for him, I'm just like, that's better. 10 million notebooks. This is my notes of ideas for sequels to this story that I'm working on for them. But the whole point is discovering a world of magic, self-discovery, acceptance, and a lot of messed up origins. But just, yeah, isn't that what OCs are for? Fun facts about each of them. Lorelai, she has a pretty high IQ, but, like, not sure if I pointed like an exact, if I'm gonna point an exact number, but it's ridiculously high. A thing about Amethyst, I imagine she's likely ambidextrous, but not like fully. Pandora, fun fact, yeah, she has a lot of nightmares due to her trauma, but, like, is the more protective one of Copper, because, yeah, he's dealt with some of those things longer than she has. Fun fact about her is that, she's in the Humans Discovery Club at the magic school, so learning about human world, but, like, some facts are right, obviously not correct, and Amethyst is probably just sitting there like that's not even close to being true. Copper, he dabbles in, like, witch inventions, so, like, building machinery, and people are like, we don't need that, but he's just like, come on, it'll help. It probably ends in disaster, but, like, he's trying. Fiona, well, fun fact about fairies in their world. Wow! Come on. Alright, stay up. Listen. Stay. Or, if it, whatever. Fiona, fun fact about fairies. Fairies have, like, 8 hearts. Horrifying, but true. But yeah, they age slower, so she is 493, but she looks about 16, 17. I know, it's kind of confusing. They only age every 29 years, so yeah, she's gonna be around a while, but she doesn't really make friends with fairies, so, like, yeah, she makes friends with witches and other people, but, like, she has a complicated history with Mercury. I'm not gonna say too much, but, yeah. he's been evil even before he took the title of Emperor. Always had a messed up head. There's a little bit about my OCs, but I'll I can share more about their story another time, because like I don't want this video to be 10 million hours. I take a lot of notes and story stuff, but like, yeah, we don't want to show too much or shove anything down anyone's throats. And this phone will not listen to me, and I'm trying. So peace out, interwebs. I can show more artwork another time. And thanks for being yourselves and being interested in OCs or anything I talk about. Later.